I'm Kieran. I'm the Director of Ubiquitous Connectivity in the Satellite Applications Catapult. My role here is to look over future networks, connectivity and the integration of terrestrial networks with satellite networks as well. So we cover a breadth of technologies from personal area networking all the way right through to high throughput satellites and connectivity, and integrating those to cover things like agriculture, health and rural connectivity as well. So we have technically been working on 5G for 6 years. That, from a standardization and technology perspective in 5G, is in its latter phases. We're just seeing a transition in towards 6G. And particularly for us, which is a domain that we've been working in for some time now, is what we call non-terrestrial networks, which is the network elements that are not fixed. So today cellular is referred to as terrestrial, and anything that is not cellular and on the ground is referred to non-terrestrial. And that's what we're pushing towards now. That will form part of standardization for 6G. So we've taken the opportunity now, having been working in 5G for some time, to transition and rename our centre to the Future Networks Development Centre. My favourite bit of equipment in here would have to be the piece of equipment you see behind me, which is a vector signal analyzer. And what that does is it gives a visual representation of the signals that we physically can't see. So the electromagnetic signals and the radio frequency signals, and it tells us if they're working properly. So we're able to delve into that spectrum, that invisible spectrum, and see what is actually in the ether by connecting this equipment up. And what we're doing in the equipment behind us, we're monitoring the OneWeb constellation and the user terminals that are receiving those signals. And then we're decoding it and seeing what's happening within that signal as well. So quite exciting, really, for an engineer anyway. 6G at the moment is really lightly defined in the standards. I think we're just starting what we call the bits that didn't get into 5G. So there's an outflow of specifications and technologies that don't readily are mature enough at the time to get into that standards wave. So that at the moment has been agreed that they will fall into the 6G umbrella. For us, it's looking at how that technology will integrate satellite completely. So we will probably stop talking about satellite connectivity and just talk about 6G as a whole. For us, very keen on understanding how that mobility in 6G will include satellite, so connected ambulance as an integrated system of systems, and how the user terminals in OneWeb will provide that connectivity for mission critical, MOD, agriculture, things like that. So we've got probably about 5 to 6 years of technical specification to do in 6G before it actually becomes a reality of where you start to see it in a next generation smartphone. And in terms of when will people be using it, about 2030. So we're 9 years away from seeing 6G on your handset or on your satellite device. Catapult's role, as previously in 5G, is first of all making sure we do the technical outreach, pulling SMEs in, educating on where they're going. Actually, this time we're going to take a different tact. It was more about us telling them what's happening. We're now going to do a different way of doing that. We're going to ask them what they want, because we're early enough now to influence specifications, and that will make 6G much richer than 5G. 5G was very technology focused. Won't 6G be very user focused now, or very machine to machine focused? We're fitting the technology to a need, not necessarily what we saw in 5G, where we are fitting technology or pushing that technology out and trying to understand where it fitted a need. So that's what we're going to do in 6G.